We will enjoy a Labor Day weekend that is chock full of college football action. Anita, let's go to the college gridiron. Look at a trio of elite marquee matchups that we will see over the course of this weekend and lay our best bets on the viewer. We're going to start with a game that actually takes place Sunday between the Florida State Seminoles and the LSU Tigers. Now, Florida State has played a game. This will be the season opener for Brian Kelly and LSU. The game is taking place at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. So you'd think, even though it's neutral site, a decided advantage for LSU there. They're installed as a 3-point favorite, got a total of 50. Anita, how are you looking at this Sunday night affair? We'll see you on ABC.
Yeah, I'm going to lay the points with LSU. I know, love or hate Brian Kelly. He's got a lot of talent on this team. This team is really good, and they're really deep. On top of that, quarterback Jane Daniels. His weapons are ridiculous. Wide receiver, tight end, everybody's good. Offensive line is great. Their defense, one would argue, I'd say rank in the top 10. So I'm going to take LSU. I'm going to lay the points.
I'm going to do the same. I'm going to lay 3, given that they'll have, I think, a decided home field advantage at the Caesars Superdome. I think Brian Kelly, say what you will about his fake accent now that he lives south of the Mason-Dixon line. The dude can coach. All he's done is win, no matter where he's been at, Cincinnati, Notre Dame. Now he doesn't have to worry about some of the barriers to getting elite athletes down in Baton Rouge like he did when he was at South Bend. I just trust him more than I trust Mike Norvell. I know Florida State's already played, but that was against Duquesne. It's going to be a massive step up in competition. I think 3 is very reasonable. I will lay it with Brian Kelly and the LSU Tigers with this game taking place down in New Orleans. All right, let's go to another primetime matchup we'll see this weekend featuring another SEC squad. This one, the defending national champion Georgia Bulldogs. They opened their season in Atlanta in the Chick-fil-A kickoff against Oregon. So again, neutral site game, but a big home field advantage likely for Georgia in Atlanta, GA. They're laying 17 against their former buddy Dan Lanning and Oregon, a total of 54. Anita, how are you looking at this matchup?
Yeah, I'm taking the under here, and for a big reason. You just said the name, right? Lanning, now former Georgia defensive coordinator, now with the Ducks. And even though Mario Cristobal has made his way to the U, baby, where I'm from, he did not leave the cupboards dry, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So don't sleep on this Oregon defense. On top of that, Bo Nix against Georgia, no bueno, Tyler. 56% completion percentage, 1 touchdown. And quite a few interceptions in 3 games against Georgia. So I like the under here.
Yeah, once again, we are in lockstep here. I know Joe Fortenbaugh was the first one I kind of heard to discuss this on Daily Wager, but I kind of ear perked up. I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Bo Nix, as you mentioned, is the quarterback from Oregon. If you remember him at Auburn, Anita, he would struggle, especially when he was away from his home stadium of Jordan-Hare, and especially against elite defenses. And I know Georgia lost like 9 guys to the first and second and third rounds of the NFL draft from their historic championship defense a season ago. But Kirby Smart has been doing some recruiting down there for a few years. So the cupboard is not bare. As a matter of fact, Lorenzo Carter, who is returning to Georgia this season, some people think he was the best NFL prospect on last year's defense. Watch out for that guy. I believe he's number 88 on the D-line. So there's going to be plenty of 5- and 4-star kids that are now filling in for the Devontae Wyatts, the Nakobe Deans, the Trayvon Walkers, who was a number 1 overall pick, the guys in the back end. I have no doubt that Georgia's defense will be great. And I should say no doubt, I have little doubt that Dan Lanning at least knows what weakness is attacked on Stetson Bennett, the quarterback. Say what you will about Bennett winning that national title. He's still not an imposing physical figure at quarterback. He's, kind of nondescript. He's not a guy who's 6'5" like a Justin Herbert was at Oregon, with a rocket arm. So Lanning, who was designing defenses against him every day in practice last year, likely knows how to attack Stetson Bennett and try to make his life a little less efficient than it normally is. So I'm with you. I think under 54 is a wise play here, given what Georgia's defense likely will be yet again and the fact that Lanning probably knows how to attack whatever weaknesses Bennett and that Georgia offense may have going forward. They lost some talent on that offensive side of the ball, too. James Cook gone to the NFL. George Pickens gone to the NFL. I'm not saying there's not talent there, but Georgia's offense may take a couple of weeks to get going after they lost some talent to the National Football League. All right, finally, I think the game that most people are excited about or most curious about is a top 5 matchup. Number 2, Ohio State hosting at the shoe, number 5, Notre Dame. And they're 17-point dogs, the Fighting Irish. I mean, one of the most lopsided spreads you'll see ever in college football between 2 top 5 teams. Anita, how do you want to wager this one?
This might be a wager I might make each and every week, of course, depending on what the number is. But this Ohio State team, I'm going team total over. They should be able to put up at least 40 points a game, if not more, each and every week. Their wide receiving core, Tyler, one would argue, could be the best wide receiving core in the history of college football. They are going to score at will. Meanwhile, so my play is Ohio State team total over, okay? But keep in mind, I think how Notre Dame is going to try to counter them is running the football and also nice little short 3-5 yard eat up clock with their tight end Meyer, who, by the way, if there's any prop bets out there, they're not out there yet, but keep an eye. I really like this tight end from Notre Dame. Over receptions, over receiving yards. That's how I think they're going to try to keep OSU off the field. It doesn't, they're probably going to score every 3.5 minutes. That's how good this wide receiving core is. So that's how I'm playing this one.
Hey, sister. We didn't call each other. We didn't text this morning, but our minds were on the same page. We're 3 for 3 in these college football bets. My exact play, Ohio State team total over 38.5. Now, I heard David Pollack on College Football Live yesterday say that this Ohio State offense could be the best in college football history. And I said, whoa, Nelly, not so fast, my friend. Don't forget what Joe Burrow and that LSU offense did a couple of years ago. But my point is, we know this Ohio State offense should be just absolute bonkers. C.J. Stroud, Henderson in the backfield, the wide receivers. I like them against a Notre Dame team that is probably outclassed in terms of athlete to athlete, especially when that offense is on the field against the defense in front of their home fans. So I like them over 38.5. I think they score at least 40 as well. Should be a fun weekend of college football, baby, no doubt about it. Hope everyone has a safe and happy Labor Day weekend. Big thanks to Andre Snellings and Eric Moody for dropping by. Anita, hope you have a wonderful weekend. We're dark on Monday because of the holiday. So we'll see you back here next week.